Hey guys, it's Bendy, and I wanted to make a video addressing a lot of my past and the people that stand with my abusive grandmother. I want you guys to notice something, especially to the people that stand with Janet. So, Janet raised 5 people. One of them is dead. 2 of them have a criminal history. 3 of them had a drug problem. 1 of them still has a drug problem. 3 of them don't talk to her. And the one that does still talk to her worships her like she is some sort of goddess. She worships the ground she walks on. Anyone from an outside perspective, knowing the story, can look at the situation and say, there's something messed up with that story. Why doesn't her children talk to her? Why is one of her children dead? Why is there criminal history? Why are the kids so messed up? Really? You guys are still going to side with her, seeing everything. I have enough evidence to put her away for the next 10 years. From my ISP to the accusations that she coached me to make against my own father. In my ISP, which is a personal plan for whenever people go into group homes and have caretakers taking care of them. She wrote that I was not capable of taking showers. I was not capable of cooking, not capable of taking care of myself, not capable of cutting up my own food, that I was a choking hazard. When I was 13 years old, whenever my mother passed away, found this out a couple months ago. The courts were going to give us to the closest living blood relative, which is my father. My father is still alive, and I have been told my whole entire life that he either molested me or he had given up the fight for our custody because my abusive grandmother offered for him not to pay child support. What the truth is that I was untreated autistic. I am treated now. I have my own apartment. I've got a cat. I'm living independently. Yeah, I've got autism. Yeah, I struggle in some ways, but I'm not incapable of taking care of myself. So, as a 13-year-old that has no understanding of anything, because I hadn't learned anything because of everything going on in my life, I was like a mockingbird. What I heard, I repeated, and she used as her main weapon. She coached me into making accusations of molesting against my own father. So he ran for the hills. I understand that now. That could have ruined his whole life. It could have thrown him in prison. I mean, 15 years ago. This was 15 years ago. He could still be behind bars now if I followed through with those accusations. If he didn't run, I could have ruined his whole life. I could have taken away his job, his family, his home, everything from him because of a false allegation that was planted in my mind. How can you look in her eyes and say that she was loving and did what was best for us? Telling me that I was nothing but a paycheck to her, that I would never be independent because I was too much of an R word. How can you say that she did best for me? Oh, and to my sister that worships her like a goddess, go ahead and put a halo on her head if you want. It's going to catch fire anyways. So, my sister wants to make accusations that I chased her around the house with a hammer, that I pushed my abusive grandmother onto the floor, that I held her hostage. I'm sorry, from my understanding from criminal terminology, that is attempted assault or attempted murder with a deadly weapon. That is false imprisonment and holding someone illegally hostage, and assault of a elderly person. Those are felonies. Why did nobody call the police? It's funny because she's the one with the battery charge against her husband. And I don't have anything on my record. Yeah, my abusive grandmother would call the police because I made a dark humor joke or missed my medication. But I'm chasing someone around the house with a hammer? Nobody's going to call the police? Really? Yeah, I remember the one time whenever she supposedly said I was holding her hostage, I was confronting her on her cruelty, and she's sitting there in the chair. Mind you, I was 120 pounds. I was standing, let's see here. Let me push that back without knocking it off. I am this far back from her. I am like this far back from her. She is that far away. Could I be holding someone hostage? No weapon. And she has the phone in her hand. She's calling my aunt. And she's holding me hostage. She's holding me hostage. You're not going to call the police? I'm confronting you on your cruelty, and I'm holding you hostage. Really? No, there was no hostage situation. I had no weapon. I was half her weight. Do you think a tiny girl? Yeah, and that's another thing. Why am I so heavy? Why am I so heavy? I used to be 120 pounds when I was 18. My family wanted me to be registered as violent and hostile, so they would go to psychiatrists and lie to them, telling them how belligerent and hostile and violent I was. So they pushed antipsychotic, 900 lithium. That's a dangerous level for someone at my weight. Blew me up like a balloon. I'm still working on losing it. And people ask me, why don't I press charges? If I have the ability, why don't I press charges? Because my grandmother's a sociopath. When she's behind bars, all she would have to do is cry to someone, and the moment that person gets out, they'd go after me. Or my sister would go after me. Or my aunts would go after me because they believe that she's the victim. I have the evidence, and even with the undeniable, irrefutable evidence, it's like trying to convince Jesus is God to a Muslim. You can't do it. It's impossible. Trying to work with these people and protect myself, it's not worth it. I forgive her. I will be able to look her in the eyes and tell her I forgive her. But did she hurt me? Yes. Did she cause me pain that I will probably be dealing with for the rest of my life? Yes. And one of the things that truly, truly angers me as well is I have bent feet. She was my guardian up to the age of 25. She went to the courts when I was 18 and got me registered as legally incompetent. My other grandma is my legal guardian because my abusive grandmother gave up the fight. For 25 years, I have been falling over. I have hip dysplasia and bent feet. My grandmother, whenever she got guardianship of me, we were walking, and she saw how crooked my feet were. I was walking on the sides of my shoes. And then she saw me fall into the wall, and she's like, that's not normal. She took me to the doctor and said, hey, something's not right about this. Let's get this checked out. Doctor's like, yeah, that's not normal. And they gave me braces. I wear them on my feet every day. I contacted my abusive grandmother and said, why did you never get me help? Her excuse was because I would use it for attention-seeking behavior. And I probably wouldn't even wear them. If I knew that these things were going to freaking help, why would I not wear them? But attention-seeking behavior. What led me to fully cut her off was the last statement she ever made, which was, I told her I was moving back to my hometown, which is the same city she lives in. I live 2 miles from her. I don't see her around. I've seen her in a couple stores, but that's it. We don't talk. So she told me if she was out driving and she saw me walking without somebody with me, she was going to report me to the police for suspicious behavior. Yeah, because I have a history of being a flight risk and everything. What are they going to do now that she's no longer my guardian? I wasn't going to put up with her crap anymore. I've lived in my hometown for about 2 years. I've never had her call the police on me. Thank God. But there's never a first time. So I just need to get everything off my chest. There's so much going on inside my head, and I forgive her. Believe it or not, I do forgive her. I can look her right in the eyes and say, you built me into someone that's charismatic and understanding. You broke me so I could understand the broken. But she can't break me anymore. Honestly, if she were to pass away, with how much of my own family hates me, they'd probably stop me from going to her funeral. Or either that, or I wouldn't even be informed. So I hope that one day she repents. I hope one day she comes to God and says, hey, I did wrong by those kids. And that she tells God she's sorry. She claims to believe in God, but she doesn't feel an ounce of repentance. She feels vindicated. So, Lord, I pray for her heart, that it becomes soft and she realizes what she did. Because the cruelty of her is too much. And I pray that she doesn't take it out on my nephew, because my sister's living with her. And I pray that my sister wakes up because of their messed up mindset that's in her. Honestly, the people have realized that transitioning children is child abuse. That mutilating their bodies is child abuse. But if my sister's son decided that he was confused about his gender, she wouldn't hesitate to chop off his genitals. So that's how messed up she is. She's an extreme leftist, and I expect nothing less. So I'm going to end this here. Sorry for venting about everything. I just needed to get everything off of my chest. So, to the people that stand with her, why? You see everything she put me through. You've seen the papers of her saying that I was incapable, and you know that I was. So, as much as I want to press charges, I'm not going to. It's not worth it. Why do to her what she's done to me and lock her up? She locked me up for the majority of my life. Why lock her up? It's not going to do any good. It's not going to make me feel any better. It's not going to do any good. It's honestly probably going to make her a lot more hateful, and why take away the option for God to reach her. So, it hurts, but it is what it is. Bendy out.